There's something quietly unsettling about the moment you start doubting your own legs. It happens in little ways, not all at once. Maybe it's that first time you reach for the handrail just to be safe, or the day you skip your usual walk around the block because your calves feel tight, and the wind feels stronger than it used to. Maybe it's when the stairs at your daughter's house start to look longer, or when you find yourself hesitating at the curb, waiting for a little more balance before you step down. You tell yourself it's nothing. Just age, just tiredness, just a cold morning. But somewhere deep down, something feels different, a little less certain, a little less steady. And it can be easy, so easy, to accept that this is just how it goes. But what if it isn't? What if your legs aren't weakening because you're getting older, but because of something you've been doing every day without even realizing it? Or rather, 3 things. 3 quiet, seemingly harmless habits that sneak into daily life and slowly, almost imperceptibly, drain the strength from your legs. Habits that stiffen your joints, that choke your circulation, that whisper to your muscles, "You're not needed anymore." And here's the truth. It's not your fault. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You've just never been told what to stop doing. Because no one ever says, "Hey, watch out. That small choice you're making, it might be costing you the strength to walk unaided 10 years from now." But I will. Because these 3 mistakes are common, so common that even doctors often miss them. One happens every single hour in most households. Another is sitting on your plate. And the third? It hides behind silence, behind aches and twinges we chalk up to the calendar instead of calling them what they are: warnings. If any part of you has felt unsteady lately, if your legs have started to feel foreign, or if you've caught yourself doing less, not because you want to, but because you feel you have to, then keep listening. And if you care about staying strong, steady, and independent well into your later years, take a moment to subscribe to this channel, Healthy Years Club. We're here to uncover the simple, powerful changes that help you live longer, move better, and feel like yourself again. Now let's begin with a habit most people believe is harmless, but could be quietly dismantling the very muscles that hold you up. Mistake number 1. Sitting too much. The silent muscle killer. At first, it feels like rest, a moment of peace after breakfast, a few hours in your favorite chair, watching a show or flipping through the paper, a short nap before dinner. And in between, a little time at the table, a little time on the phone, all of it quiet, all of it still. But here's the secret no one told you. Stillness comes at a cost. You may not feel it right away, but while you sit, day after day, hour after hour, your legs are slowly being told they are no longer needed, and the body listens. Muscles don't wait for a loud injury to give up. They slip away silently through disuse. It's called atrophy, and it doesn't make noise. One day you simply realize that standing up takes a little longer, that your balance feels less certain, that you're leaning on the armrest more than you used to. And suddenly, that favorite chair starts to feel like a trap. Here's the heartbreaking truth. Even if you go for a walk every morning, it may not be enough to undo what happens when you sit for 10, 11, sometimes 12 hours a day. Because movement isn't something you do once. It's something your body needs constantly, in small, steady doses. Think about it. You wake up, head to the kitchen, sit down for breakfast. Then you move to the couch for some television, a nap, a phone call, a little reading. You move from one chair to another, from one quiet pause to the next. Before you know it, the sun is down. Your steps for the day? Maybe a few dozen. It's so ordinary, so normal. And yet, for your legs, it's like being told to slowly disappear. When you sit too long, your blood flow slows. Nutrients stop reaching your muscles in the way they're supposed to. Your joints stiffen, your glutes weaken, your thighs thin out. You don't notice it all at once, but you feel it. that moment of hesitation when you rise, that need to grab something for balance, that nighttime ache that wasn't there a year ago. But here's the miracle. The body doesn't need marathons to come back to life. It just needs signals. According to research in the Journal of Applied Physiology, standing for just 2 minutes every half hour can dramatically improve circulation and muscle health in your legs. 2 minutes. That's the kind of change anyone can make. You don't need a gym, you don't need fancy shoes, you don't even need to leave the house. What your body craves is motion, small, steady bursts, what some researchers call movement snacks. March in place while you brush your teeth. Rise and lower your heels while the kettle boils. Walk a loop around your living room during commercials. Stretch your legs while you talk on the phone. Keep a resistance band on the armrest and do a few gentle pulls between pages of a book. These small acts are not meaningless. They are messages to your muscles. You are still needed. Linda, 72, used to think she was too tired to move more. She'd sit most of the day, telling herself her body needed rest. But after her daughter set a timer on her phone, just a gentle reminder to stand up every 30 minutes, something shifted. Within a week, she noticed her legs felt less tight in the evening. After 2 weeks, she could go up her front porch steps without gripping the rail. She didn't join a class, she didn't lift weights, she just stopped telling her body to disappear. And now I ask you, how many hours did you sit today? When was the last time you told your legs, I still need you? This isn't about guilt, it's about hope, because the beauty of the body is this. It responds. Even after years of stillness, it can come back to life. But movement alone isn't enough. Because the next danger doesn't come from your chair. It comes from your kitchen, from the foods we eat every day, thinking they're harmless, even healthy. When in reality, they may be silently draining the strength from our legs, feeding inflammation, and making recovery harder with every bite. Let's talk about the second mistake and how what's on your plate might be quietly working against you. Mistake number 2, eating the wrong foods. Fueling inflammation from the inside out. There's a quiet kind of betrayal that can happen at the breakfast table. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't cause a sharp pain or leave a bruise. It happens in silence, in the space between what we think is harmless and what our bodies are actually begging us to stop. You pour the cereal or toast the bread. Maybe it's yogurt with fruit from a plastic cup, a splash of juice. Something sweet, something fast. You sit down, sip your coffee, and call it a good start to the day. But beneath that comfort, something is brewing. Inflammation, fatigue, a subtle stiffness that creeps into your knees, your ankles, your hips, and settles there like fog. The truth is, your legs don't just need movement. They need fuel, the right kind of fuel, because food isn't just about fullness, it's about function. And the wrong foods, they quietly dismantle that function from the inside out. Highly processed carbs like white bread, sugary granola bars, and many boxed health foods trigger spikes in blood sugar. That spike sets off a cascade of inflammation, tiny fires in your joints, swelling in your tissues, stiffness in your muscles. You may not feel it after one meal, but over time, it adds up. Day after day, bite after bite, your body begins to lose its edge. The very fuel that's supposed to nourish you turns on you. And this inflammation doesn't just make you uncomfortable. It interferes with circulation. It stiffens your connective tissue. It slows muscle recovery. It's like trying to keep a car running smoothly while pouring sand into the gas tank. Now picture this. You wake up with sore knees, a little swelling in the ankles. You chalk it up to age. Then you go eat something that secretly makes it worse. And you do it again and again. But it doesn't have to be this way. There are foods that cool the fire instead of feeding it. Foods that your body recognizes as support, not sabotage. Leafy greens like kale and spinach, wild salmon rich in omega-3s, chia seeds, walnuts, lentils, berries. These don't just sit in your stomach. They travel through your bloodstream and whisper to your muscles. You're safe. Heal. Grow stronger. And one of the most overlooked heroes? Magnesium, found in avocados, pumpkin seeds, and even a square of dark chocolate. Magnesium helps muscles contract and relax. It keeps your nerves communicating clearly. Without it, fatigue and cramping sneak in faster than you realize. Take Henry, 74. For years, he thought the stiffness in his legs was just part of getting older. His mornings were always the same: 2 slices of toast with jam, maybe a banana, a cup of coffee. Easy, predictable. But one weekend, visiting his daughter, a physical therapist, he mentioned how the soreness was getting worse. She didn't scold him. She just asked him to try something new. For 1 week, no toast, no sugar in the morning. Instead, a bowl of warm oats sprinkled with chia seeds, blueberries, and cinnamon. He didn't expect much, but within days, something changed. His knees didn't ache quite so much. The heaviness in his legs felt lighter. He said, "I thought I needed a new knee. Turns out I just needed a new breakfast." That's the power of food. It's not magic, it's chemistry, and every meal is a message. So ask yourself, what are you telling your body? Are you building strong legs or feeding quiet pain? Take just 1 meal this week and flip it. Swap the sugar for protein. Trade the starch for greens. Add color. Add fiber. Add life. Your legs will notice. Maybe not tomorrow, but soon. And when they do, they'll carry you a little easier, a little further, a little stronger, because the pain you feel in your body may not be a punishment of age. It might just be the echo of 100 tiny choices that can still be rewritten. And now we move to the last mistake, perhaps the most deceptive of all. It doesn't show up on your plate or in your routine. It shows up as something most people ignore until it's too late. Let's talk about the third and final habit that could quietly take your strength and your independence if you're not paying close attention. Mistake number 3. Ignoring small aches. The whisper before the breakdown. It's easy to dismiss that tightness in your knee when you stand up too quickly, the little twinge in your hip after a long car ride, a bit of soreness in your ankle that lingers longer than it used to. It's easy to say, "That's nothing. I just slept funny. I must have twisted it walking up the driveway. This happens to everyone at my age." And maybe it does, but that doesn't mean you should ignore it. Because those tiny aches, they're not just noise, they're messages. Your body is whispering, something needs attention. And if you don't listen, those whispers will grow louder. This is how it begins for so many people. A dull pain here, a little limp there. You compensate, favoring one side, shifting your weight without realizing it. Your body adjusts, but it doesn't fix. It starts bending in the wrong direction. And slowly, the damage spreads. When you ignore small imbalances, your muscles begin working against each other. One side tightens, the other weakens. Your joints strain under the uneven load. Your back tenses to keep you upright. Before long, your entire posture has shifted, and your legs are doing double duty just to keep you steady. What started as a little stiffness becomes a cane, a chair lift, a loss of confidence when crossing the street. You stop walking as far. You sit more. You go out less. And you don't even realize you're doing it until one day you do. Imagine for a moment your car had a flat tire. Would you keep driving on it, hoping it would fix itself? Of course not, but with our bodies, we do this all the time. We hope the wobble will go away. We hope the ache will quiet down. But hope is not a plan. Listening is. A study published in the American Journal of Geriatrics found that seniors who ignored early joint pain were twice as likely to experience major mobility loss within just 18 months. Not a decade, not a lifetime, 18 months. But here's the silver lining. Small issues, caught early, can often be reversed, not with surgery, not with pills, but with something even more powerful: attention. Carla, 69, spent years brushing off her sore knees. She called it morning creakiness and tried not to think about it. But when the pain began waking her up at night, she decided to try something different. Nothing extreme. Just 10 quiet minutes each morning with a chair, a foam roller, and a few slow stretches her daughter showed her. At first it felt pointless, but after 2 weeks she could walk her dog to the end of the block without stopping. A month later, she no longer needed her afternoon ibuprofen. "I didn't realize how much I was putting up with," she said. "I thought pain was just my new normal, but I was wrong." You don't need to be a physical therapist to spot the signs. You just need to pay attention. Is one hip tighter than the other? Do your ankles move freely when you roll them in circles? Does one leg feel heavier, slower, or weaker? These aren't random quirks. They're early warnings. And they matter because once pain becomes chronic, your nervous system changes. Your body learns to expect the ache, and the longer that pattern holds, the harder it becomes to break. So start small. Use a tennis ball under your foot, a warm compress on your lower back. Do light leg swings while holding onto the kitchen counter. These are not workouts, they are acts of care. Because your legs are not just limbs, they are your foundation. They carry your independence. They are the difference between rising with confidence and needing help. Don't wait for the shout. Listen to the whisper. And now that you've heard it, what will you do differently? Sometimes the most powerful truths aren't loud. They don't come crashing in with a diagnosis or a dramatic fall. They arrive quietly in the everyday patterns we've come to accept, in the habits we never thought to question. And today, maybe for the first time in a while, you paused to look closer. You saw that strength isn't just lost with age, it's given away in small pieces. In how long we sit, in what we feed our body, in the little pains we hope will go away if we just wait long enough. These 3 mistakes, too much sitting, the wrong foods, and ignoring your body's quiet warnings, aren't rare. They're ordinary, and that's what makes them dangerous. Because what's familiar becomes invisible. Until one day it's not. But now it's no longer invisible to you. And that alone puts you in a different place than most. Because the truth is, awareness is the first step toward change. Not willpower, not pain. Awareness, the kind that says, I see this now, and I can do something about it. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. But you do need to stop feeding the very habits that are stealing your strength. Because your legs aren't just for walking. They carry your independence. They're how you keep up with your grandkids, how you climb the porch steps with groceries in hand, how you step onto a plane to see a friend, or move freely through your own home without hesitation. They carry you, and you deserve to feel steady in that. So as you step into the rest of your day, pause for a moment and ask yourself, how long did I sit today? What did I put on my plate? And what pain have I been ignoring, hoping it would go away on its own? Then ask yourself this, what would it feel like to walk without fear? If this video helped you reflect, even just a little, then let it help someone else too. Share it. Leave a comment below and tell us which of these 3 mistakes surprised you the most. What's the one change you're willing to try this week? And if you haven't already, now is the time. Subscribe to Healthy Years Club and turn on notifications. Because every week we uncover the overlooked, untold strategies that help you age with strength, clarity, and control, without hype, without fear. Your legs may have been whispering. Now you're finally listening. And that changes everything. You deserve to walk strong, steady, and pain-free at any age. This is the Healthy Years Club, and your next step starts right now.